Okay, welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video, and I'm once again talking about the PlayStation TV. More specifically, the very reason I got the thing, which was to play this, the Pinball Arcade. I've already talked about how I've now got a solution for my flippers, but there's a new problem that has surfaced, and I have a feeling, I don't know if it's something to do with the Pinball Arcade just in general for the Vita version, or if it's something to do with a mistake that I made. I have some suggestions on how to fix this, but this might actually be something I have to wait for another patch before it'll be working. Now, so what's the problem, you say? I mean, here's Tales of the Arabian Nights, and it's running just fine, and I'm very happy now that I've got this new controller that allows me to use the flippers the right way. That's great. So, what's the trouble? Well, the trouble is, and I'll just have to exit out of here, I'm back to the original 4 tables that I started with. Now that's intentional because I ran into this snag that required me to reinstall Pinball Arcade. As you can see, I've just got Tales of the Arabian Nights, Ripley's Believe It or Not, Black Hole, and Theater of Magic. And we're back to Tales of the Arabian Nights. I don't have those other tables, and in fact when you saw me first open up the PlayStation TV, I had Big Shot and Elvira, and I was intending to download more. Now that I've solved the whole do you have to pay for them again routine, which I was going to do in this video, but I can't actually play those, and in a nutshell, here's the problem. Okay, so here I am back at the main screen. If I launch the Pinball Arcade, I am immediately told that there is an update, which I know is true because I've had to reinstall this thing. If I go to get the newest update, which has all the latest tables, which I really want, see, we're up to version 1.27, and it has things like new tables, etc. Let me download this. So if we check our bubble in the corner, you can see here we are downloading the latest update, and I'll just let this run and obviously edit out the 12 minutes here. Okay, so the download is practically completed, and then at the very last second, once all is said and done, could not download, and I got that error code. And it's been doing that for pretty much ever since the newest version of the Pinball Arcade came out, so I've tried a variety of things, and I've got one possible last solution for this. But just wanted to post it and also show you what I'm going to try to see if I can solve this. Now let me just try what is the most obvious thing. For example, why don't you just reinstall the program? Because that's what I've done before. Okay, let's do that. Manage memory. Vita applications, Pinball Arcade, delete. Yes, I'm going to delete the Pinball Arcade. There we go. It is now off there, completely done. Let's exit out. And you can see there's a hole here now. There's no more Pinball Arcade. Let's go back and reinstall it off the PlayStation Store. So yeah, as you can see, there are a lot of tables that I would like to download. Let's get that happening. So, PS Vita demo. Download again. So now if we go up to our little bubble up in the corner, Pinball Arcade is downloading again. Right there. It's going to take 5 minutes, so I will just edit that out as well. Alright, so the actual app is about to finish its download and probably install itself. And I believe every time I've done this, the update, which is the waiting to download up above, will kick in just automatically. So let's just see what happens here when that finishes. Alright, it's installed with a bunch of other stuff I haven't used for a while. And here comes the update again. So let's give that its 13 minutes again to see if this update actually installs this time. Alright, here we go. This is the last few seconds of that update and downloading and installing again. And again, it fails. Could not download code CO10932-5. I looked it up online. This code indicates entries in your DNS settings for the PlayStation TV. And a couple of forum threads mentioned putting in specific numbers, so I tried that. Didn't make any difference. I still got this error. And I even tried a wired connection, like I physically hooked up the PS TV to my modem and tried this download again. Got exactly the same error. Now, some people have posted online they also get this error message, but it's not like a huge number of people. So I'm not entirely sure if this issue is to do with my connection. Plus, I have been able to download other stuff. Like I got the Sonic Racing Transform demo just to see would that download and run, and it totally did. So I can connect to the PlayStation Network store. That's fine. The issue is not my connection to the actual store to get the download. I have a feeling there's something wrong with the Pinball Arcade update file. And that might be something that I did. Now, just to prove my point, I'm going to launch it here, but it should be just the 4 tables. So you see here it's telling me there is no save data because this is a new install. So that's fine by me. It has created a new file. Let's play. A new version is available. You should download it. And there we are, we're back to my 4 tables. Now, yes, I could try reinstalling yet again, but I've already done that once, and I keep running into the same issue. Now, I have a feeling this might be something that I have done wrong. Given that there's very few people mentioning they have this problem, it might be something that I did, and I'm just going to cut now to what exactly that was, because I might, fingers crossed, have a solution I'm going to try after I describe that issue. Okay, so here is my PS TV. Now, what did I think that I did wrong? Well, when I first got it, and this is currently turned off, by the way, I had mentioned that I thought the PS TV came with 2 gigs of internal storage. Turns out it's only 1. And as I was, after I loaded on Pinball Arcade and TXK, I was suddenly very, very low on space. So I thought, oh, I guess it's only 1 gig. Well, luckily, I can always get a new memory card, which I did. Let me just pop this one out here. So yeah, I got myself a used card out of the retro store here. It's only 8 gigs. I'm not going to need more than that. And that was actually at a pretty good price tag, so I'm very, very happy with that. But what I thought was interesting is after I turned on the PS Vita with that plugged in, I was presented with a message that said, and I'll show a screenshot of it here, but you now have a memory card installed, so do you want to move all of your data from the internal memory onto this new memory card, or do you want to leave it? If you leave it, you won't be able to access it while the memory card is plugged in. Again, here's the actual warning sign, or here's the notification that came up. So my guess is maybe because Pinball Arcade was originally installed in here, along with TXK. I told it, yes, please move it to the memory card. I don't need it on this internal memory anymore. I wonder if doing that, does the Pinball Arcade have like a base memory block that it uses to know where the DLC is supposed to go? And maybe that didn't actually move to the memory card? Since TXK doesn't have any DLC, there's no way for me to test to see if the same thing happens with that. And I have been able to download other stuff. So maybe that's the issue. Maybe there's something for the Pinball Arcade that is still thinking it needs to be on the internal memory here, and not the one that was moved to the memory card. That's my guess, anyway. So fingers crossed, what is my solution here? Let me get out of the Pinball Arcade. When I got Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, the actual game on a chip, when I was down in Portland, The first thing that happened when I launched the game is it said, oh, there's save data on here, you're not going to get any trophies, or you can erase all the save data, start from scratch, and therefore you will get all the trophies yourself. And I thought, well, yeah, I want to play the game legitimately myself. I don't care that somebody else has gone along and unlocked characters, etc. I'm going to do that for myself. So, yes, I want to erase the data on the chip. How do I do that? And I found out that on the PlayStation TV, if you hit the little triangle on your controller, it brings up different options here where you can, move items around if you like. That's really awesome. And for the sake of deleting the file on the chip, you would actually go to the game itself. Essentially, yeah, there we go. There is a delete option where what that'll do is, that's, just so you know, when I've got that highlighted, I'm going to hit triangle to pull up the menu. And there is an option here to delete. And what that does is that deletes everything on that chip. In other words, all the previous progress that the previous owner of that game had unlocked on the cartridge, I can delete his progress and start from scratch. So now Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom launches just fine for me, as if I was a brand new player, because I have erased the data on that particular cartridge. I'm wondering, given that the PlayStation memory card that I installed after putting the Pinball Arcade file on my PlayStation TV, I wonder if I tell it, please delete the data, will that also reset it to like some factory standard default? Similar to the way just uninstalling the program and reinstalling it. I have a feeling that's really all that's going to happen, and I'm still going to be stuck. But I thought, you know what? For argument's sake, since the only alternative now is to wait for yet another patch to come from Farsight, which that'll be my concluding thoughts. I don't think that's going to be a solution. Let's give this a whirl. I'm going to use the delete function the same one I used on Ultimate vs. Capcom to get the game cartridge clear. I'm going to try that on Pinball Arcade. It will erase all related data, including save data, and will be deleted. Yes, let's do that. This is different from just uninstalling and reinstalling the game. There we go. So that's us out. So now, let me, I just hit circle to return us to the normal view here. Let's get the game one more time, and this time we'll see if that has solved the problem. Let's download it again. And of course I will cut out these these downloads. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this same thing here. You see how you can select just the actual little little dot bubble? That's by going to the right hand with my D-pad. I'm going to tell it to cancel that download. So now I'm just downloading Pinball Arcade PS Vita again. And when I launch it, it will prompt me again to download the update, and I will again. And then I'll restore, or I'll start recording again at that point to save you all from waiting, and we'll see if that makes any difference. And here we go again for about the third time now with less than 10 seconds to go. Does that make any difference if I do it that way? Nope, still could not download, still the same error message. So I'm not entirely sure what to do here. And of course, if I go down to the Pinball Arcade, it's going to just tell me that it only has the 4 tables. So yeah, here we go. The new version of the application is available. No matter what I do, I constantly hit this problem. And once again, I launch it, and I only have my 4 tables to choose from. So this is really unfortunate. There is no way to correct this. Now, my hope is that it is something on the Farsight side. They have not predicted the way the Vita works or something, and it's not installing. If that's the case, and that's really all I have left to rely on, that means I gotta wait for Farsight to come out with another patch for the Vita version of Pinball Arcade, and Lord knows they're slow enough to get the PS3 content out. So I have a feeling I'm going to be waiting a very long time. I mean, maybe when their next batch of tables comes out, maybe that will work, but I'm not holding my breath. So it is pretty unfortunate. It means that one of the main reasons I got the PlayStation TV doesn't work anymore. Luckily, it's not the end of the world. I do have Zen Pinball here, so at least I can play some pinball. And as mentioned, TXK is awesome and works just fine ever since moving from the internal memory to the memory card. I've got these other games too, so I'm not too disappointed, but it seems so silly that what should work just fine is not working, and I hope it wasn't me adding that memory card. At this stage, I think all I can do is wait for a new patch. Anyway, so there we go. A lot of waiting and a lot of frustration for nothing, but I thought that might be helpful information if anybody else is stuck like me. It looks like you're just going to have to wait for a new patch to come out. And until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.